Our first label was Crew Cut. That was Lonzo's label.
Okay, that
Crew
was
Cut, and then Lonzo got us signed to Epic for our first single,
okay.
and then we went back to Crew Cut.
Okay. So apologize for that misinformation. But
Nah, it's all good. I mean, not unless I'm just not remembering some, but from what I remember, we was on Epic and and then Lonzo's label, Crew Cut.
okay. So did you guys shop a demo earlier on, or how did you get the crew cut?
Nah, what we were doing were you know, Dr. Dre and Yella and them, they used to DJ at this skating ring out here called Skateland in Compton. They were young and we were young too. We were only like 16 years old. So what we started doing like funny raps to raps that was already out.
Right.
Like My Adidas by Run DMC. We Pee Wee Herman, we did a song called VD Sermon, talking about,
Mhm.
catching VD. Um yeah, we would perform up at Skateland, and that's how we kind of got started. And then it was this guy named Steve at the swap meet. It was the Rhodium swap meet, and he used to sell mixtapes back before mixtapes were mixtapes. And we would make them, and Q would make some, and we would give them to him, and he would sell them. And that's how the name started to get out there a little bit more.
What do you remember most about the reaction of when your music started circulating?
Oh man, hell yeah! The reaction was lovely, bro. It was, man. I mean, we feel like little stars out here, man. We had our little jackets on, and had our little group name on the back. We wear them to school. We had a little single playing on K-Day. They wasn't in heavy rotation, but we did get played on K-Day.
Right. What was that creative process like working with Sir Jinx, Cube? Was Dr. Dre in the mix as well at this time?
Of course, yeah, yeah. Dr. Dre produced our all of our stuff. He was producing all of our stuff. Our first name was Stereo Crew. That was our name. Me, Sir Jinx, and Ice Cube. And then we, like I said, we got signed to Epic. We put a song out called "She's a Skag," one little single on Epic, and it didn't do good. So uh, Epic put us on the back burner, and then we got back with Lonzo, and then we changed our name from Stereo Crew to C.I.A., which was Crew in Action. Then we changed that to Criminals in Action, and we put like a little EP out, song called Illegal, song called My Posse. Dr. Dre had us rapping like the Beastie Boys. We was yelling, what I'm saying? But we had fun doing it, man. It was fun. We just happy to be a part of something. Like I said, we was young, bro. We were like 16 years old, man. We were kids, and we didn't know that it was gonna get to where it was. We were just happy to be doing something for our friends out here. We had no idea it was gonna cross up out of California. We were just doing it for the love and for our friends out here, man. That's what it was. Like I said, we was young, having fun.
Right. What eventually happened to CIA? I mean, were you guys pursuing a whole record deal at that time, or were you just content with having that EP out?
No, I mean, of course, we were trying to go further with it, but in the midst of that, NWA came about. So when NWA came about, from what I was told initially in the beginning, they were pulling one member from each group to do NWA. That's why if you look at one of the first album covers, at the bottom it says Easy E from Boys in the Hood. It says Ice Cube from CIA, Dr. Dre from Wrecking Crew. It had everybody's name from which crew they came from. So, and that's the reason why CIA stopped, because Cube got into NWA and it blew up. Like I said, we didn't know it was gonna blow up like that. It was just, when Cube came to us and he came to me and Sir Jinx, he was like, "Man, look, they wanna pull me in." He like, "But I'm not leaving y'all." He like, "If it blow up, I'm gonna pull y'all in and it's gonna be better for us." So we was like, "Man, do your thing, man," and it blew up, and CIA was no longer.
Right. During Cube's time in NWA, where did K-Dee find himself in the meantime?
That's funny. I started working, bro. I had a night job, man. I started working for the City National Bank Computer Center, working at night while Q was doing the NWA thing. And also when NWA popped off, Q went to Arizona to go to school. He went to little business college or whatever to take up drafting. So he was also gone when NWA was popping. So yeah, I had a little night job, man. You know, I had to make some money, bro. You know, so I went and got me a job.
No doubt. Where did you featured on the song Panic Zone?
Nah.
Okay, okay. Did you witness any of that NWA and the Posse album being created?
Um, I mean, some of the songs. I mean, you know, yeah, some of the. I can't remember if it was 8 Ball and the Posse on there. I mean, 8 Ball, the 8 Ball song.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
I was around for that one. Yeah, I was around for a few of them, man. I was around for a few of the songs, but no, I didn't feature on none of those songs on that album.
Did you ever have the opportunity of being a part of NWA?
Nah,
Okay.
no. But what they said was they said on the second album that they were going to take another person from the same group and put them, you know, and put them in. This is what they said in the early beginning. I doubt anybody probably even remembered that was said, but they were like, okay, on this first round, we're going to take these members from each group, and on the second round, we're going to take the other members. But it never worked that way, and that was the way it was supposed to go, man. Because you know, look how it went. You know, that was a classic a symbol. You know, they you know them guys getting together like that. That was classic, man. And look what it brought about. So I don't think it would have it I don't think it probably would have had the same impact if they would have went out and got other members like, you know, like me and whoever else. And you know, it probably wouldn't have been the same. So
Right.
it was best that they kept it the way they kept it.
Did you have any involvement or witness anything as far as Straight Outta Compton went?
Nah, not at all, bro. I was just there. I was just around, giving, you know, saying little stuff here and there, you know, but not no major impacts on it, man. You know, those guys were juggernauts, man. You know, you got Dr. Dre, bro. You got a super producer. You had Ice Cube that was a beast with the pen. You know what I'm saying? So and then you had DOC too that was there. You know, he was a beast with the pen. So yeah, bro, they had it on lock, man. They was in there making magic, man, daily.
Right. What do you remember most about Cube breaking away from the group and the conversations you two had as far as joining the lynch mob?
What you said about Cube breaking away from NWA?
Yeah. What do you remember most about that time? Is this about the time you guys reconnected?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I remember him coming to my house, man. He came to my mom's house, and I was, you know, he came and we stood out in front, and he was telling me the whole spiel about why he was leaving, and he was telling me he was gonna form a group, you know, Lench Mob, and he's gonna be going to bring me with him. And that's when he told me I can quit my job and come work for the company for a minute, for a little bit, and that's how it went down.
No doubt. Did you have any relationships with any of the other guys earlier on? JD, Shorty, Threat? Any relationships previous to getting with the lynch mob?
Not JD and not Shorty, but T Bone. We all me T Bone and Ice Cube went together. I mean, went to school together. So yeah, I knew T Bone. Threat, no, I didn't know Threat yet. That's funny. I just talked to Threat today.
Word.
Shout out to Daily Threat.
No doubt. What do you remember most about the making of America's Most Wanted?
Well, not too much because I wasn't around there neither. I mean, I was around, but I wasn't around. Remember, he flew to New York, and I didn't go with him. He went to New York to go mess with you know, the Bomb Squad and Chuck D and them. I think T Bone went with him and Sir Jinx, but the rest of us we stayed back here. So not too much, man. I remember him, you know, playing me some cuts when they were done and to ask me what I thought. And of course, man, I'm like, man, it's just the bomb, bro. Like, man, come on. Oh yeah, I mean, he kept me afloat on what he was doing. He would, you know, make sure I heard the stuff he was coming up with. And at the time, I felt it was incredible, man. I mean, for you to leave over here with the West Coast producers and to go to the East Coast and get the best ones over there and then come up with what you came up with, shit was incredible, bro. It was incredible.
Right. During this time, are you working on any music for yourself to come out?
Nah, not at that time. When Q told me to come work for him, I came to Street Knowledge Productions, and I was A&R, and I was in charge of getting new talent, and I was over sample clearancing. So when Lench Mob was doing their album, Cam or Yo-Yo or Ice Cube, you know, I would make sure I get the samples and I would get them cleared and stuff like that. And so at that point, me doing music wasn't really on the forefront. It one day, I thought about it. I'm seeing everybody coming up doing their music and doing shows, and I'm like, damn, I'm like, what, whatever happened to me? So one day Q came in the office and I put him aside and I'm like, man, what's up, man? I'm like, I want to do my album. He was like, oh, what? He's like, man, you want to do, you want to rap? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, what, you forgot that I used to rap with you? And yeah, from that day on, man, he was think it was all K.D. on his mind, man. We put together a nice little thing, and as you see the results with the Gas of Cash, man, and that's what we came up with, man.
Right. Back to that A&R position. Overall, did you enjoy your time being A&R over at Street Knowledge Records, Lench Mob?
um, not doing that. I mean, because I'm not saying Ice Cube wasn't really trying to sign nobody, but we had Yo-Yo, we had Cam, we had the Lench Mob, um, then we had me. So it wouldn't really wasn't no room for nobody at the time because the roster was kind of full, but people were still sending their stuff in, and I had to listen to that stuff, man. And a lot of that stuff wasn't really worth listening to.
Right.
So I would be in the office, man, and listen to a lot of that stuff, man, and a lot of it wasn't good, but that was part of my job. So
Right. How hard was it to get those samples cleared?
some of them were hard. I mean, I didn't do it alone. I wasn't the one that was going to negotiate. We had a company we were dealing with called Songwriter Services. This lady named Madeline Smith. Shout out to Madeline Smith. We follow each other on Facebook. She's still around. But she was the one that I would get all the information for the samples. I would get everything, and then I would send it to her, and then she would be the one that would contact the and make the deals or whatever. So me, I was just the guy that would just get the stuff together. I wasn't going and negotiate nothing.
Right. Were you able to go out on tour for the America's Most Wanted album with Cube at that time?
Um, I can't remember if I went out on America's Most Wanted tour, but I know I went out, like I think either the Death Certificate tour or the Lethal Injection tour. I know I went out on those, but I can't remember if I don't think I went out on any other America's Most Wanted tours.
Okay. For Death Certificate, what role did you play in that particular process? Any as far as the album development, or can you share some tour members with us?
As far as the process of putting that together, no, I didn't. You gotta understand, really, Q, man. Back then, Q was a mastermind when it came to putting together songs, man. His mind was just, the way it worked was crazy. So he had a lot of that shit already down packed, man. Who we wanted to play something on, or scratches, or just whatever, man. He pretty much had a lot of that down packed. And the producers he worked with, like DJ Pooh and Sir Jinx, and a lot of them, they was creative also. So tour stories. Yeah, man. Man, woo. I mean, it was a few of them. I mean, as far as fights, females, girls. I mean, yeah, bro. I don't want to say too much. 'Cause I don't want to get nobody in trouble, But yeah, man, we had a ball out there, man. There's a few things that went down, man. Like I said, we had a couple of, a lot of people didn't really too much like the West Coast stuff, so that we would get a lot of that. Oh man, you West Coast niggas, man, we'll be y'all gang banging stuff. So we would get into a lot of altercations because of that. Um, uh, and a lot of the guys that we roll with from out here, they still was affiliated a little bit, with the street culture. So in
Right.
taking that out there, some guys were still, you got that sticky fingers taking stuff from people, and there's a lot of stuff going on, man. But it was a good experience, bro. We had a good time. We had fun. We had fun like a motherfucker.
Right.
Because Cube name held weight. So when we went to a city, man, they showed us love off top. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, we brought that LA street mentality with us, man. And a lot of times, hey man, a lot of them cats out of there wasn't too fond of it.
Right. Was your appearance on Lethal Injection your first big break?
Actually, yeah, that's '93. Yeah, when I was on Make It Rough, Make It Smooth, that was I'm not gonna say my first intro because we was already doing stuff with Stereo Crew and C.I.A, but that was on a smaller scale. So yeah, of course, when I did Make It Rough, Make It Smooth, it was really like the welcoming of K-Dee.
What kind of conversations did you guys have as far as you appearing on that particular album? Was you like, Cube, I'm ready? Or was it like, yo, K-Dee, what you got?
Um, I think what happened was, I think we was already already putting together my album at that time. I was starting to get ready to, and I think Cube was in his mind. He was, business mind. He was like, let me put him out first on my shit, which I know is gonna sell a lot and it's gonna get him noticed, and which is gonna make it easier for his shit to sell. So that's what I think the mindset of it was then, because he was like, yo, K-Dee, I'm gonna put you on my album. It wasn't like, are you ready? It wasn't like that. He was just like telling me, like, bro, I'm gonna put you on my album to get you out there first. And he came up with the concept because he knew I was, I was laid back, smooth rapper. I wasn't really into the gangster rap. And he was on the rough stuff, and he's like, man, let's do make it rough, make it smooth. And that was, hey man, that was the birth of K-Dee, man. Make the hoe say hey each and every day, bitch, cause I'm the K-Dee. Yeah, that was the birth, man. That was it.
What do you remember most about the reaction after that single came out?
Really, a lot of people were shocked because some people didn't believe I really had it in me like that to come off and be on a song opposite of Cube and hang with him. And a lot of people don't even know that a couple of lines on that song I wrote for Cube on his part. It's just a couple, it wasn't like a whole verse or nothing. It was just a couple of lines I penned, and he liked it, and he kept it in there. So yeah, man, it felt good. It felt good for that. It felt good for me to be out there on the song with him. An album that I knew that was gonna get out there to the masses and sell. I think it did over 1 million. So
Right.
it got me a nice little payday. Matter of fact, it was a blessing. That was a nice little payday.
Right.
Seriously, for half of a song, I'm like, man, you get this much for half of a song?